Hello and thanks for joining the midweek edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozubaku. Today on the program, police operative rearrest notorious kidnap kingpin Hamisu Bala. PDP takes in 693 million naira from nomination forms. Screens 33 candidates for Bayelsa Kogi governorship election as aspirant tells APC to conduct fair primary. And later on the show, Ekweremadu causes Kanu says, I leave him to repercussion of ingratitude. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, Emeka Madunagu. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Dr. Abdul Fattah Durojaye is a Nigerian based in New Jersey, United States of America, and his day is never complete until he watches Journalist Hangout. Durojaye is on vacation in Nigeria, and he used the opportunity to visit TVC Communications corporate headquarters and linked up with us. He didn't leave us until he gave us this roasted groundnuts.
A gift of roasted groundnuts. And because he has observed over time that we like eating groundnut.
Oh, okay.
So all of you groundnut eaters, I'm sure you have something to chew on the program.
For some time now. That means he watches every time.
Yes, he watches us. He was just looking for a way to make us happy because as far as he's concerned, we make him happy. And diasporans love to watch our program because they get a feel of what's going on in the country through the program. So they are trying to show their gratitude in any way possible. Yeah. We appreciate this. Yeah. We won't say this is little, we appreciate it. And from tomorrow, fortunately, you won't be here tomorrow.
Our producer will start devouring it.
But I can give you the peanuts. I can give you.
You can have the taste. You can have the taste on air now.
Thank you, Dr. Durojaye.
Thank you, Dr. Adufa, all the way from New Jersey, United States of America. So I'll take this break. When we come back, we'll discuss more. It's still Journalist Hangout. Please stay with us. Thank you for joining us once again. Wahid Bakare is joining us. Now, as discussed on this program on Monday, the mother of all revelations is here. Operatives of the Nigeria Police Force have rearrested the notorious kidnap kingpin, Hamisu Bala, also known as Wadume. Bala, who escaped arrests in Ibi, Taraba State, when soldiers opened fire and killed 3 IRT policemen, taking him into custody 2 weeks ago, was rearrested in his hideouts in Kotoro area of Kano. Hamisu confessed that the soldiers rescued him after they killed the policemen, took him to their barracks and removed the handcuffs from his hands. Let's hear from the notorious kidnapper.
Ni ne Hamisu Bala wanda yake da inkiya Wajimi. 'Yan sanda suka zo Ibi suka kama ni, da suka kama ni suna tafiya da ni sai soja suka bi su suka bude wuta har wayansu 'yan sanda suka rasa rayukansu. Da nan suka ɗauko ni suka kawo ni helkwatansu na soja suka yanke mun hankali ɗin da yake hannuna na gudu. Tun da na gudu ina cikin buya sai yanzu 'yan sanda suka sake kama.
Babajide, it's always good, when, and I feel so good that as of yesterday, we promised Nigerians that we're going to be on this case. And it's not over yet. It's not close yet. We are going to wait for the panel to finish sitting in 2 weeks' time and now see what happened. But as you said yesterday earlier, that the main crux of this information is in the public domain.
Yes, I said yesterday that the way this whole thing happened, everything is in the public domain. There is nothing new that anybody can bring forward anymore. It's exactly the way this matter had been reported that Hamisu Bala told us it happened. We suspected, and it's been reported by the Nigerian media, that some soldiers helped him to remove the...
Jide, let me help you out. Let me help you out
handcuffs.
by making reference to our discussion yesterday so that our viewers will have a better knowledge of how it went yesterday.
Nigeria has been put to shame by this matter.
Honestly.
Yes, extrajudicial killings happen all across, but this is a different matter. A different matter because of the circumstances and things that happened. The phone calls that have been intercepted. Everything is now in the public domain. You know, everyone who can read the newspaper can even pass judgment in this matter. Yes,
Absolutely.
because those guys have come out.
They were
Someone invited me, said I should bring key. I don't have key. You are saying that, oh, probably they didn't even log this in the itinerary and all that. The record is there that it was logged. So what are we talking about? We don't need 2 more weeks on this matter. It's an attempt to deliberately waste the time of the Nigerian people.
Verify was he kidnapped or not, and normal processing him. But he left.
Where did they take him to?
That is the curious. That is
When
the
it happened, where
curious
did you take
angle.
him to?
That is the
If you
curious
save
angle.
someone from kidnapping, then the normal thing is to even hand him over to the
police, Abi?
Yes.
Even to the army.
No, are they not handing over?
Let's say they even want to add
ends up in the
hand it to the
hands of the
army.
police.
Yes.
You know?
If you arrest
Compensate
somebody,
from the brief.
okay, they are claiming that they wanted to rescue a kidnapped,
Yes.
someone who was kidnapped, isn't it? That's a kidnapped victim. Now, you have rescued him. The normal thing is for you now to take him to the nearest police station
Yes.
and hand him
That is
over
that is the procedure.
to the police.
That's
for the
not
police to
between the
continue
whole
because
investigation.
the army is not supposed to be the one prosecuting or writing.
Well, thank God.
All I can say is that I'm proud of the intelligence response team of the police. I'm proud of their exploits. I'm ashamed that amongst them, they've lost dedicated and well-trained staff. But the truth is, the fact that this notorious kidnapper has been arrested, a kidnapper who made 120 million in one operation, has been arrested, is good for the memory of the policemen who are wasted needlessly. Needlessly. It's good for their memory. And before now, some members of the IRT and even SARS men were saying that if they do not get justice, that they will not continue to work. Some of them were saying, what is the point in serving their nation if they can end up in the manner these guys ended up? Even in death, they were dehumanized. In death, they were given the treatment befitting of beasts. How do you want such people? Not heroes. And these are Nigerian heroes. So this settles it. The capture, I know that the police will do whatever it takes to capture Wadume. Because if Wadume should die in the process of running around, evidence will be lost. They've done the right thing by going after him. When you kill a policeman in a robbery operation, they will get you. There are so many examples like that. I remember in the airport here in Lagos, 4 policemen were killed by robbers inside a 504 station wagon. They got them, and one of them was even a pastor.
I think it's a standard across the world.
They got them. No. The thing is not a standard across the world. The Nigerian police, when you touch one of their own, when you kill one of their own, whatever it takes them, they will get you. Go back, go down memory lane, you will see, because they will do whatever it takes. They know where robbers are now. Did they not get the people who are involved in the offer robbery, including one of their own former officers? So this is it. I knew that they would do whatever it costs. And when information began to come out about exchange of phone calls, I said from the beginning, I said this was a bad case for the army. because a bad egg has succeeded in putting the army to shame. But I know that at this stage, nobody can cover up anything again. The treatment that the bad egg deserves, I know that General T.Y. Burate will give him the treatment that he deserves. Other bad eggs have been given such treatment by the army. Anyone who can behave the way that guy behaved does not deserve to be in the army. And his accomplices also deserve to go with him so that we can have an appropriate closure to this matter in a manner that everyone will be happy. Yes, it's a bad thing that has happened, but we can still be happy at the end of the day once we know that justice has been served. We'll all be happy.
Bottom line. Wahid, what do you make of the arrest of Wadume?
Well, like Jesus said, I know that there will be no hiding place for that alleged kidnapper, especially because of the way and manner in which the policemen were killed. We all saw the video. The video was everywhere. Even one of them was begging that please don't kill me. They still went ahead and shot him and killed him. To the extent that the man defecated on his body. After it was shot, you can see how painful the death was for him at that point. They were flashing their ID card. That we are policemen. They were still saying, kill them, kill them. They didn't show mercy to them at all. At that point, it was very sad.
But you can show mercy to a kidnapper.
Very sad. Very sad. They are brought him to themselves. Thank God that the man has been arrested and he has opened up. We will still get to hear more. We still get to hear more of how he has been giving them money in the past, how he has bought vehicles for them, how he has been doing also all manner of philanthropy.
How you compromise that.
I'm not surprised that they arrested him. I know that it will get to this point.
Emeka, it's good that it's not even the military that got Wadume, because if they had gotten him, that might have compromised the whole thing, and he might not even be alive to tell the story today.
I'm so sad about, the Wadume has been caught, but the people who have been killed, they are dead already. So what I think, I'm happy that the police, they've got Wadume. But beyond that, I'll repeat what I said, on another program. That you cannot be sending policemen out after kidnappers, high-profile criminals, be sending them out in Hummer buses that are not bulletproof, that are not armor-plated. At least let them move about with sufficient protection. Let them be sufficiently encouraged, motivated to do their job. Because, like I say, I've said it again and again, in Nigeria today, crime, if you put together statistics of, income, if you call it, if we can call it that word, from crime, at different levels, extortion and all that, is the most lucrative, quote-unquote, enterprise in Nigeria today, even higher than politics. Because tell me one transaction where you will make 115 million naira, 120 million naira, just by one act.
Or $1 million.
No registration with any authority, nothing, just $1 million. You had the issue of the alleged Evans, the alleged billionaire
like
kidnapper.
350 million.
I mean, come on. The police, Nigeria police, I have confidence in them that they can do their job. Because from what I've heard here and there, even on this program, Jide has said it again and again, that they have equipment to work. But they need to be motivated, and politicians should allow them to do their jobs. They should allow them to, all this interference, whether from the military, whether from the political class, it should stop. It's a shame that the way the Nigeria police is, being treated. The job of the police, you give it to the military, and then look at what has happened. Look at how these people have been killed. These are. I mean, beyond that, the country should honor these men. Something that will inspire.
Hopefully, when this
something that will inspire the younger generation, the up and coming generation. Yes. It's not just okay. Wadume has been caught, and then nothing should happen to Wadume. We should not hear suddenly he was being taken to somewhere. He tried to escape.
No, not this kind of. Please. It's not an armed robber.
Every effort must be made to get to the
not root, at this stage.
To get to the root of this.
See, what we have seen is just a fraction of the recorded confession that he made. At this stage, nothing can be hidden again. And nobody will kill him in custody. No. All that is left is for him to face his trial. And by the new law of Taraba State.
Has it been passed?
By the new law, yes. By the new law of Taraba State, which the House has passed, I spoke with the Speaker of the Taraba State House of Assembly, Honorable Ebel Dia. He gets the death penalty if he's found guilty. So there's a new law in place.
You know, we discussed that matter here. If you remember,
so this is the
thing.
It happened, the people he had been kidnapping them. In the whole of the Northeast, Taraba is the most notorious for kidnapping.
Yes.
And it largely has to do with the presence of a millionaire kidnapper in that state. In Taraba, they will break the wall of your home, come into your home in broad daylight and take you away. So that is the thing. It's that dangerous. Even in Takum, the hometown of General Danjuma, kidnapping is very rampant. And that's the hometown of the governor. So the state now wants to do something drastic about it. You can't just continue to kidnap people. So it's kudos to the guys that in the end they got this person. Yeah. I know that, even when it happened that Abba Kyari was relaxed, he didn't lose his head. Any other person would have lost his head. Honestly. But he was calm.
His colleagues that were working closely with him.
He didn't grant any. He could have burst his dam of emotions.
I'm telling you.
But he didn't do that.
Those colleagues.
He just kept.
People were encouraging him.
Yeah. You see, he could have granted interviews that would mess up the whole story. But he was calm. He knew the facilities that they had. Went for him. And we can see pictures. I'm sure by tomorrow people will see those pictures because only a few of us have seen those pictures. The pictures of him after the guy was arrested with the handcuffs in his hands.
Handcuffed him.
So it's a happy day. It's a happy day. It's a happy day for us that we can report this, you know. And it shows to us clearly that the matter is gradually coming to an end. There may be no need for a 2-week extension to do what? What are you...
with this now?
I said it that all the people that you need to interview, they are available. They are available. The only person not available was Wadume. That was what I said yesterday. If you need a policeman to interrogate, the DPO will hand him over. If you need a soldier, his commanding officer will hand him over. So it's not a question of maybe some of the suspects have run across the border. No, that has not happened. So there's no need to delay this matter and keep us in needless Nollywood type suspense.
Well, no. It was said to they arrested him in Kano, and you know, the first thing that came to my mind was that Wadumai might have gone through our porous borders and would have eloped. But thank God that the painstaking effort of the police paid off.
Maybe he was taking his time. I also felt that if he's going to be arrested, he will be arrested maybe in one of the neighboring countries. That was I know he would be arrested, but I was thinking he would have left the shores of Nigeria.
I wasn't too confident.
Because the place where he was arrested in Otoro. That's Otoro is on the way to Maiduguri in Kano. So from Otoro to Maiduguri, you still do maybe about 7 hours minimum.
Wow.
So where are you headed? He probably was waiting for the tension to come down so that he will now flee across the border. But God had so willed that this thing will happen. The blood of those innocent policemen will not allow anyone involved in their killing to live in peace. You can't live. You can't deny people peace, especially their wives, their children. You can't deny them joy and expect that you will live in joy. No, joy will be far away from you. If you take someone's life in this manner and you expect that you will live in peace, no, you can't live in peace. Wadume will not live in peace.
You can't for the rest of his life as the way it is now. Looking at this will be like a signal to other kidnappers that have made this, they're stuck in trade and is the most lucrative business, as you said earlier, right now, is kidnapping.
Unfortunately.
But the long arm of the law will always catch up with you.
Well,
I want to say kudos to also to the intelligence gathering capabilities of the Nigeria police, because even in the war on insurgency, the war against Boko Haram, you know, definitely Nigerians have complained about the lack of, you know, strong intelligence gathering capabilities, which have led, you know, to botched operations, which have, you know, enabled Boko Haram to hit and run away. But in this instance, intelligence, the police have shown that the intelligence gathering capabilities are still in place. So I hope they can also bring this to bear, this swiftness to bear in other cases, because there are other pending cases. I mean, there are still hostages
unsolved murders
being held to kidnappers. So I hope the Nigerian police can, you know, get over this. It's very painful, but I commiserate with them, and I want to commend the IG. I mean, he's taken a lot of, he's had a lot of bad press in recent times, but this at least will serve, you know, will weigh heavily on the positive side for him. And I want to say kudos to Nigeria police. They should continue. The people are with them. Let them try to win the confidence of Nigerians.
We'll still be on this case till the very end. We're still on it till the very end. I'll take this break. When we come back, we'll discuss more. It's still Journalist Hangout. Please stay with us. Don't go away. Welcome back. It's still Journalist Hangout. The political season in Bayelsa and Kogi states is getting into a frenzy. While different aspirants are jostling to emerge as governorship candidates, the political parties are smiling to the bank in preparation for the November 16th election. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, began screening of its governorship aspirants from the 2 states in Abuja on Monday. At the last count, 33 male and female aspirants, with 21 from Bayelsa and 12 from Kogi, bought their expression of interest and governorship nomination forms. The implication of this is that the PDP is 693 million naira richer from the money it raked in sale of firms, but all eyes are on the primary election to follow. November 16 is drawing so near, and the spotlight will be on Kogi and Bayelsa. And the beauty of it is that it's going to be held simultaneously in these 2 states. So the PDP in Bayelsa, Jude, naturally I expect them to be very heavy, because Bayelsa states from 1999, if I'm not mistaken, has been a kind of enclave of the People's Democratic Party. So the prospect of...
It's a fortress.
Yes. So the number of people that will come for the form of the People's Democratic Party naturally will be greater than that from the one of the other party.
Yes, because that is a party to beat. If you look at the list of people who want to be the next governor of Bayelsa, you see clearly that Niale is a small state. It's a very small state. You see that clearly all the major political gladiators in the state are interested in that position.
In one camp.
You have people like Fred Agbedi, Timi Alaibe, former Senator Pulka or Senator Pulka, former Pamse Goswill Igali, and many others. Igali.
You have Ikoli.
Goswill Igali, I'm talking about.
Deputy governor.
The deputy governor.
The deputy governor too is interested.
Yes, he picked the form yesterday.
The retired serviceman.
Yes.
You know, so where a party is most favored to win, more people are likely to contest from that party, for the primaries of that party, because they will think that once we can win the primary, we'll win the election. If you look back at what happened in Borno State, about 22 of them contested the primaries because Borno State is a one-party state. Once you can pick the ticket, the governorship ticket of Borno State, it's better they just give you the
As
they
an
just
APC
give you your
governorship
certificate of return.
ticket.
Yes, it's a one-party state, and it's APC that's in charge. Once you can win the primaries at any level, and you are the candidate of the APC, you win the election. So 22 of them entered the race. At the end of the day, Professor Zulum became the winner of the primaries and recorded the highest votes by any governorship candidate in the last election. You know, more than 1.5 million votes for Professor Zulum. So when you look at Kogi too, PDP thinks that this is his chance. PDP thinks that he can win the Kogi election. And you can see that they're working hard. They are confident that they can win because of the general perception that the current governor has not performed. In fact, in Kogi State, a deaf and dumb man, if he promises to pay salaries regularly and stop people from committing suicide, is likely to defeat the incumbent. This is a sad fact, because the pain that the people feel arises largely from the fact that they are being owed many months of salary, many months of unpaid salaries. So the people generally are distraught, and the two parties know that they have to be very careful about who emerges as their candidate. You can take 20 million from people to buy form and all that. At the end of the day, what matters is the contest itself, the primary election. The fidelity of it is what will hold your party together. If you organize sham primary elections, you will only fragment your party. They will go and join rival parties, and at the end of the day, you will lose the election. So the party, the PDP and the APC must know that what is important is for them to organize primary elections that people can attest to their fairness. That is what will guarantee them victory at the end of the day.
Why the stakeholders in Kogi State, they seem not to agree on the modality for the primary election.
That's for APC.
For APC, as in...
Whether direct or indirect?
The party said the, indirect primaries, and the stakeholders they've gone to courts, and the court has ordered for the status quo to be maintained. And that litigation, once it starts, I'm afraid...
There are 22 of them that went to court to challenge, to say this is the mode that the primary should take. 22 of the aspirants or so, as at the last count. You know, and it's an indication that the party needs to be very careful. You know, there are chances that APC is likely going to win the election. In Kogi, the same thing will happen to PDP in Bayelsa. But it all depends on the outcome of the primary. There will be grievances at the end of the day. You have a contest whereby there are about 22 aspirants jostling for one ticket. You know, at the end of the day, there will be grievances because it will only go to one person. But if the contest is fair enough, fine. If it is not fair, it can affect the real election. That's why PDP has assured the aspirants that they will make sure they go into the election proper as a united front, so that none of their members will defer to another party, provided the contest will be free and fair. You know, and you know, if it is free and fair, people will know that it is free and fair. But if you have a situation whereby the party is tilting towards a particular aspirant, and they will instead, as that aspirant that must emerge at the end of the day, they have to wait for the electorate at the proper election. So the two parties need to be careful in each of the states, so as not to spoil
This pre-primary litigation, you saw what it did to Zamfara State, what it did to River State, APC in those states. And once they start, you can be rest assured it doesn't stop.
Of course.
Always a reason to start going to come back and forth to get.
Yes. Politics is a keen game anywhere, especially in this, in Nigeria. Politics is the source of livelihood of a lot of politicians. That's what they live on. So that's why in Nigeria you have career politicians, So definitely interest is key. Interest is paramount. Now, for Kogi, the governor is between the rock and the hard place. Now, he's not very sure of the ticket, but I have a feeling that the party will find a way to give the ticket to the governor, because I think he still remains, right now, he's about the strongest choice, or, the strongest candidate they can present against the PDP. Just like Jide said, if somebody comes and says, we'll do this or we'll do this, the person will easily beat the governor. Then in terms of PDP, of course, we have some interesting politicians there. You have Dino Melai, you have Dr. Victor Adoji, and you have some other
even the
people.
former governor, Idris Wada.
You have Idris Wada. Oh, that one he's really taking it very, very seriously.
Waka, the son of the former governor.
So, how the interest will play out, I don't know. But I mentioned
Dino.
Dino Melai.
Dino, I mentioned Dino Melai, of course. The strongest contender in PDP right now. So definitely, I still think the party may just want to play middle of the road role. In terms of Bayelsa, I think the governor will determine. Serake Dixon is a very smart politician. He will determine who picks the ticket at the end of the day, because he has a strong hold. He has a firm grip on the political machinery of in the state, of the PDP machinery. The APC in the state is not very.
He has not shown his card yet.
He's not. Yes.
I spoke with.
Yes, he has not.
Nobody knows.
Earlier.
But there have been speculation. There
are speculations that he has not shown his interest.
This person will support this person. The APC, I don't see how the supremacy battle between Silva and the Enekin Lokpobiri, how it will play out.
And my friend,
but Silva has just become a minister.
Not forgetting my friend.
Will he still dump the...
Yes.
No, he will still, but he will still be interested in...
Less than 3 months.
He will still have interest in that government.
Not forgetting my friend,
but they should also do what Ngige did. You saw when the president appointed Ngige as a minister, and people were speculating that he would run in the APC primaries. Ngige stayed away. He didn't go to rubbish himself. And of course, he maintained his respect. So I think I would advise Silva, just maintain your lane, like they say, in Nigeria. Stay with the ministerial, maintain your respect, so that you don't go and you get rubbished. And they might point to Fayemi tried it, and it worked out for him. But you're not Fayemi. The dynamics in Ekiti State are different from the Bayelsa State. So
it's just good to concentrate on your new ministry. That you get your portfolio just tomorrow.
and leave.
You don't know what's playing out in his mind. Politicians are complex people.
Yeah, incredible people. Incredible people.
If he's still interested in the thing, even if you give him a ministerial appointment, the following week he can drop it to go and contest.
So the cost is clear.
Yes.
But they will tell you that he's
if he thinks that I can win. Yes, he's very strong. He's very strong. But it's a PDP state.
The PDP.
Even in the last election, they were thoroughly defeated. The best that they can do is win his local government, which is Brass. Outside of Brass,
I think they want 2 local
outside
governments.
of Brass, I don't see them winning any local government. Outside of Silva's local government, I don't see them winning any local government. basically in a free and fair election, no? Because that's really what matters.
But I hope the governor and Timi Alaibe will sort out their differences, because it's becoming a messy affair. It's becoming...
I also like what PDP did last week in Bayelsa. They said all the delegates will be put in designated hotels so that all the aspirants will have access to them. You know, like in the past, whereby they go and camp them somewhere. It's only the anointed
Some will take them out of the states.
That will have access to them. But said this time around, they will be put in a designated hotels so that all aspirants can go and talk to them, convince them.
But you know,
those governors who are organizing.
A lot of those aspirants will step down before the
and governor Governor Ishaku are the ones organizing, screening these guys, and I know that those governors will come together and say, how can we have the sort of primaries that we held in Port Harcourt that was transparent, everybody saw that it was transparent, you know? So at the end of the day, when you look at Kogi, ethnicity plays a huge part in who wins the election.
Sure.
You know, if you look back at what happened in 1999, that was basically what ethnicity determined where the pendulum of victory eventually swung to. So even in this one, ethnicity will play a big part. The Igalas, you know, from Kogi East, constitute about 56% of the population. So they usually determine who becomes governor. Well, Yabelo became governor in unusual circumstances. Yeah. It wasn't like everybody had to
fight out.
Yes, the election had been won.
Yes.
He just came
and
benefited. He got less than 5,000 votes. He just came and became governor. So, in a free and fair election, it's not certain to get the votes of the Kogi East people, especially if the other party presents somebody from Kogi East. There's no way he's going to survive.
All right, moving on now. When two brothers tango, even the best of the intentions become suspicious. Now, the mobbing and lynching of Nigeria's former Deputy Senate President and serving Senator Ekweremadu has pitched him against his brother and leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, that IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, Senator Ekweremadu, who is said to have helped facilitate Kanu's release from detention, has rained curses on him for the attack. He said he's leaving him to his conscience, the verdicts of history, and possibly the repercussions of ingratitude. Emeka, let me start this from you. Before we started the program, you were vibrating about how justified the lynching of Ekweremadu is.
Was it lynched, or you mean Is he still alive? Is it mobbing, or at least mugging? Yes.
So,
how justified, or I didn't get you what you were saying.
Let's tell us what you are saying.
Tell us what you feel about it, first of all.
No, you see, unfortunately, you know, this incident, you know, I mean, Ekweremadu left Nigeria, went to Germany to socialize with his kinsmen, and this incident took place. I sympathize with him. It's unfortunate. But what I would like to say is that it's not about cursing and all of that. That is the standard, you know, bandwagon practice. I think Ekweremadu should still reach out to those people, because unusual. Peter Obi said something some months ago. He said, if people are criticizing you, find out what is the problem. Why are they criticizing you? Yes, they attacked him, they tore his clothes. All kinds of conjectures I've brought. Some people said it was because he had a coat of arms on, you know, and went to an event, and that provoked some people. All kinds of conjectures I've brought. But I must say something. You regard yourself as an Igbo leader. You should rise above the bandwagon effect. You should rise above the common sentiment. And you should reach out to those people. I'd mentioned that some people were abusing me. I said, listen, let me tell you something. there is a way things are done traditionally among the Igbo people. And I know for a fact that contacts are being made at different levels here and there. Because at the end of the day, it will not be in the interest of Igbos for Ekweremadu and his brothers to remain at loggerheads. We cannot sleep facing the same place. All of us cannot sleep facing the same place.
So do you
there must be
justify this
reconciliation.
action?
You heard what I said earlier. I said it's unfortunate it happened. But I will also ask Ekweremadu to rise above the common sentiment and reach out to those people. Because it's unusual. It's unusual that, your brothers, are now saying that, okay, any governor or public official they catch, from the southeast, from Igbo land that they, get abroad, they will deal with the person. Even other Igbo leaders should find out what is amiss.
How rational is that, that any Igbo leaders that step out of Nigeria?
For what they did. They should have stopped at carrying placards, singing song, maybe, and doing, instead of physically attacking him. They almost lynched him now, if not because of some people that shielded him. They were bent on, doing the worst thing to him. There's no basis for that. He doesn't speak well of Igbo youths. He doesn't speak well of Nigerians.
The Igbo youths that did that. That did that.
That's why I said Nigeria. He didn't say all.
So there's no basis for them to have done that. They could have expressed their grievance in a better way, and they still have made their point. Some of the things that you people come here to enjoy, you don't provide them for your people at home. Why are you coming here to enjoy those things? There's nothing wrong in that. But for them to go to the essence of physically attacking the man, I can't imagine if Ekweremadu were to be my father, I would not support the way he was harassed.
I don't get.
There is no basis for that. There are better ways of doing things. They could have done it in a better way. If you go, in abroad, when they are protesting against the idea, they pelt them with rotten tomatoes. Things are not that physically attacking that person. The person you are physically attacking, what if you are slump and died?
It depends on the abroad.
But did you see the lawmaker that
in
put in a waste basket?
Yes, they were putting them in dustbin. Those of them, they wanted to escape. They physically.
Something led to that one.
Something led to this.
They were not evacuating refuse.
That's why I said Ekweremadu should reach out to them.
It can happen. Nobody wants to be put inside a waste bin and locked up inside. They not only put them there, they close the cover of the waste bin. So they could suffocate in it now.
Yes.
So, but the thing, what we are saying, basically, if they can give Ekweremadu this treatment, what will they do to Umahi?
To
Umahi, the governor of Ebonyi, if they see him? What will they do to Peter Obi? Because the argument that I found most convincing was the argument put forward by Osita Chidoka, that this man led delegations to President Buhari seeking the release of the IPOB leader. But the thing, what usually happens with mob action is that it takes someone, a mad person, to start something, and others will just join in without even the privilege of thinking about their action. So this is the thing. Someone started it. That person was clearly ignorant about the role that this man played. Because, look, I could say that they gave him that treatment as punishment for, general misrule in our country. But they kept talking about IPOP. They kept talking about...
what was the reaction of Nnamdi Kanu himself?
No. Those guys...
Does it show that Nnamdi Kanu is even rational? What the reaction of Nnamdi to the movie?
I don't want to talk about... See the thing. If... I said something yesterday that even that means that Abaribe himself... who put his head in the guillotine for him and put his own political career at risk. That means they could possibly treat him the way they treated Ekweremadu, because these guys clearly behave like they didn't want to know whether he had played a role in the past to secure the freedom for this man. Except if they did this simply to say, okay, Nigerian politicians, we don't want to see any of you. But that was not what happened.
No, but
they kept talking about IPOP.
No, but again, if you heard what they said, what they were saying in Igbo, they were saying, what are you coming to Germany to? You want to come and eat yam in Germany? And they are killing our people, they are killing Catholic priests, they are raping our women back home, and you are coming here to eat yam.
The preponderance of what they were saying was IPOP related.
Yes.
And there's even a commentary where the guy kept saying that, oh, everybody who played a part, it should be they justified the action, and you saw the statement that they released.
I mean,
the statement that they released was IPOP related.
Yes, but you saw the Operation Python Dance 1 and 2. You saw how Igbo youths were thrown into mud pits. Some of these things were dehumanizing. They were provocative.
Was it Ekweremadu that organized it?
Let me tell you. You see, unfortunately,
that statement was saying that Ekweremadu and other
guy.
people who contributed to it. He didn't contribute to it. He didn't ask for it.
But you have already, we dissected it here. We dissected it here.
The truth is, mob is mob action. Any mob that you see, there will be a few people who can not really explain the actions, who are close to being mad. Who take that's the thing. That's why mob action is dangerous.
Very dangerous.
If one of them had a knife,
Honestly,
he would have stabbed Ekweremadu on that day. That is the thing. And they were not the people who organized it.
no.
The people who organized it could not have envisaged this kind of ending.
And still lure him to
Yes.
come and take the beating of his life. Like
No,
that.
they couldn't. He was supposed to read the keynote, deliver the keynote paper.
And maybe cut from the new yam and eat.
So that's why I'm saying, because there are some. You remember the day that we discussed his matter when he put on this Igbo dress and he was fighting for the Igbos. You remember one day here, and we said no, as one of the leaders of Nigeria, that he shouldn't be seen to be pursuing sectional interest. But the people who attacked him clearly didn't even know that at any time he had played that role. If you are saying, Ekweremadu, you did 12 years as Deputy Senate President, what is your contribution to the Southeast in terms of infrastructure? If you were attacking him for that, then people will say, oh, maybe they had a point. But you were talking about IPOP. It was IPOP that they were talking about. Even the statement that they released, they were talking about IPOP. And this man helped to secure the release of the leader of the IPOP.
And the irrational leader kept quiet and was still dishing out threats.
No, you see, you cannot, let me tell you, you cannot solve a problem by operating at the level of that problem. That's the way I like to look at issues. You can call him irrational, you can call him anything. But the fact remains...
He has a very strong fan base amongst especially the
that this guy is very popular. How come Nnamdi Kanu, how come he still, he still remains popular? IPOP still remains popular. You need to reach out to these people. You
An official terrorist organization.
You can call them anything.
No, I'm not calling them. No, that's official. The federal government of Nigeria
is
gazetted.
But let me tell you something. What I do know is that after all this has cleared, Ekweremadu and other Igbo leaders still need to reach out to these aggrieved abroad and at home.
So that they can be beaten the second time.
No, they don't need to be beaten. That's why I call it unusual. They are leaders and they must show leadership, because a lot of people in the South,
if you go there a second time,
are not happy with them.
It might even not survive it. Thank you so much. Ekweremadu, thank you for your intervention. Thank you. Wahid Bakare, thank you. And the master himself, Babajide Kolade, thank you. And that's our package today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program, and also watch Journalist Hangout on our platforms showing on the screen. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Zubakun. Bye for now and see you tomorrow.